Collective? It's Belana, Aspire to the Self, with another astrological energy forecast. This will be for the week of February 9th to the 15th of 2026. Thank you so much for clicking onto my video. If you are a returning member, subscriber, or viewer, welcome back, Soul Family. It's good to see you guys again. I hope you are doing well. Thank you so much for your likes, your shares, your comments, subscribe, super thanks, and donations. I truly appreciate them all. And if you are new here, welcome. It's good to see a new face here. So quick little update, I do have live streams that will begin this weekend. Yeah, you heard that right, this weekend. So either on Saturday or on Sunday, depending upon the members who vote on the time frame when that live stream will be. If you're looking for a personal tarot reading for me to answer any kind of personal questions in regards to your own situations and lives, that is the only way to do so. So I highly encourage you to, one, become a member, and two, to vote on the time period in which you would like to have that live stream. It's like Saturday, like in the afternoon, or Sunday evening, typically when the kids go to bed, okay? Because I got kids, and so I got to get those kids to bed, because I'm sure you guys don't want to have me be interrupted. So anywho, so make sure if you are wanting a personal tarot reading, make sure you join the live stream club. I'll be doing the live streams once a week, every week. And we know, Valentine's Day / Lupercalia / Juno Day is coming up. So make sure if you want to, get some questions on your love life answered, that's the way to do it. All right. I am also the author, B. Ulrich, of both fairy tales in my hand here. The Princess and Her Inner Voice, and The Dark High Priest and the Prostitute Queen Unseen. The audiobooks have been released and will be attached to this video for convenience. However, if you feel so truly inclined to purchase the physical copies, thank you. You can find them on online retailers such as Amazon, Walmart, and Barnes & Noble, to name a few. The Princess and Her Inner Voice is in its second edition print, which means that the autographed first edition, as well as my products, can be found on my website, which is www.aspiraltotheself.com. All the information will be in the description box below for your convenience, as well as all of my social media platforms and pages, so that way you do not get scammed by people or pages pretending to be me. Now, I will be pulling oracle cards to provide an overall, energetic weekly update, okay? The energy of the week. Please keep in mind this is a collective oracle card reading, which means that messages will not and may not resonate with everyone, okay? So please take what resonates with you in your particular situation and leave the rest. Please don't try to make the story fit if it doesn't fit. If it's not resonating with you, it just means I'm not picking up on your energy, which is perfectly okay. In the areas of legal, law, finance, health, mental health, please know that I'm not an expert in those areas, nor do I claim to be. And if I mention them at all, it is either what my intuition is picking up on, or it's literally on the cards themselves. However, if it truly resonates for you, I highly encourage you to speak to those experts in those areas of expertise. All right, as always, I begin each reading and forecast with a prayer. This just provides an energetic boundary for what I will allow to come through as I channel these messages for you guys. I call upon God, Banja, Great Goddess Morgan the 23, Lu, the archangels, my ancestors, and the seen unseen. Please only allow in this reading and forecast what I call upon, which is high vibrational energy and frequency. If any lower vibrational entities, beings, energy try to come through, try to ask, project, open a portal, remote, view, monitoring spirit in the past and future, I ask that you block, ban, and blind, and immediately return to center, unfold, which give you full consent to intervene and to intercede on my behalf when turning fit. Please allow me to see what you want the collective to know by clear, concise messages. If anyone tries to abuse technology in any kind of way in the past, present, and the future by trying to take a screenshot, ask, project, open portal, remote, view, monitoring spirit in the set, I ask that you block, bind, and blind, and immediately return to center, unfold, which will give you full consent to hold them accountable and bring them to justice in your way. Please protect me, this channel, the video, and the viewers I deliver this divinely guided message. Any curses, hex, evil eye, black magic, witches, bindings will be blocked, bind, and blinded, and immediately return to sender 100-fold. The sender's mask ripped off. They'll be able to hide. All their lies, deceit, and ill intentions will become exposed and publicly known. All right, I really appreciate your guys' patience as I get through the much needed legal and spiritual disclaimers that I have to state at the beginning of each video. I get it can be tedious, but it has to be done. It just has to, okay? Now getting into the energy. So I begin with the retrogrades, which we only got one, okay, which is Jupiter retrograde. Jupiter retrograde will be in retrograde until March 10th of 2026. This is where we're healing old wounds and reevaluating what truly brings us security and comfort, okay? Then I'm going to get into the oracle card pulls. Then I'm going to get into the daily energy, following by the corresponding chakra, which is the heart chakra, ironically, because of, the date this week, which along those lines. Okay, so we have Saturn going in Aries this week. I'll have that collective tarot reading for you on Sunday. This Sunday. I also have the Saturn and Aries before it went into retrograde and when it went into retrograde in Pisces, because it was in Pisces for a little bit and now it's back into Aries. Also this week you have Venus and Pisces. That collective tarot reading will be attached to this video for your convenience, okay, if you're wanting more information about that. This week we have Valentine's Day / Lupercalia / the goddess Juno's Day / Valentine. You know, I'll go into history of that. Okay, that's this week as well. But astrologically, it actually will impact the heart chakra, the most of all, because this week's about healing wounds. And it's also about finding your sense of empowerment, you know, communicating empathetically, communicating creatively, communicating in a way that, you know, utilizes your profound intuitive insights, okay? There's a lot of that going on this week, and it has to do with your relationships. It also has to do with you feeling some kind of tension and or disconnect from your own personal identity and that of your community, okay? And this is meant to instigate some kind of changes to transmute a wound into a blessing in your life, okay? I know, like, just the world, the state of the world right now, not just the US, but everywhere. It's, you know, I just learned recently that, like, in the UK, they got rid of trial by jury. They got rid of the jury part. What? What? Like, I guess it's no different than Americans bypassing due process, like cherry picking what we allow due process for, even though it's like a constitutional right. But, you know, things like that. So I know it can be pretty heavy, but it's meant to, okay? Like, what we are going through is a fated event, okay? And I feel like I need to touch on that for a second, okay? Like, say the ring that has world leaders, elite people in positions of power that did things to children, right? Okay, that's a fated event. If you're wondering why things aren't moving very quickly with that, or why many people aren't getting as involved, it has to do with destiny, and it has to do with fate. Because I've asked my own guides this, because it's like, why isn't things being done? Can I call down divine judgment? Can I do this? It's like, no, because it's not part of your destiny. You're taking away someone else's spotlight. You're taking away someone else's call, okay? Like, collectively, yeah, we have to stand up to injustices, but there's pivotal players here for specific instances, okay? There's pivotal players here that will create the drastic change that will go on with these events. So it's like, because like in the pagan community, I see like people that want to curse and hex. Like, I mean, I would think if there is a time to curse or hex somebody, it would be people who are doing injustices to other people. Thing about it is, though, when it comes to spiritual warfare, guys, I'm just gonna be flat out with you. When it comes to spiritual warfare, you don't know who runs with you. And if these people are in positions of power, and they got those positions of power because of sacrifices to specific entities, they could have protections against your woo-woo. Like, that's just something that you might want to know about before you get all gung-ho with cursing and hexing somebody, because like you could devastate your life. I mean, because like, think about it, like if they sold their soul, they made some kind of deal with an entity to be a celebrity, to be a position of power. Don't you think in that clause it would prevent somebody from destiny swapping with them if they already made a contract, if they already, you know, made a sacrifice or something? Like, you got to think of just legalities, spiritual legalities there. Like, think of it as any kind of contract, like a legal contract there. Like, think of it, don't you think it would protect them from like destiny swaps? Don't you think it would protect them from like people cursing and hexing their platforms, or cursing and hexing like their success, when like their success was guaranteed if they did A, B, and C, right? Like, so before you get on the bandwagon wanting to do that, be careful. Because like with anything, you don't know who runs with who. And these people that you may be targeting have more than paid their fair share for offerings. And their offerings aren't just like, I'm going to leave a plate of food out, or I'm going to leave a little bowl of milk. No, like, they paid their offerings with blood. They paid their offerings with people, which means that like it holds a little bit of weight. Okay, so just something that I want to point out there, because I've been seeing it in the pagan crowd of like, well, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do this. It's like, I mean, I agree with it to an extent. Like, if there was a time to do it, a time and place to do it, that would be it. But it's also, it's like, don't you think that they would have protections against that? You know, like, especially if they're working hand in hand with these kind of entities. They're signing contracts. They're making heavy ritual sacrifices in the form of children, blood, blood relations for some of them. Like, don't you think that there'd be some protections for them? Because, like, why would you do it if you didn't, right? Like, it wouldn't make any fucking sense, at least to me. Like, it's like, I'm gonna do this, this, and this just to still be vulnerable. That don't make sense, right? But, like, that's what you gotta think about. And Spirit gave me the message of, you can't take away someone's destiny here. Some of you, it may be your destiny to be really, really involved in it, to be, you know, part of this movement, to be part of, you know, like, say, like, in the United States, like, maybe part of your destiny is to be actively part of, you know, stopping the injustice of ICE, right? But for many of you, it's not. And it's like, there's reasons for it. It's like, I know, like, I have to stop myself. I have to rein myself in, because it's like, I'm not down with any kind of injustices, right? But, like, I can't deplete myself in areas when there's something else that's destined for me to do. There's a very significant event down the line for me that I am supposed to participate in. This would be optional / discouraged for me. I need to be here at this time, at this place. And if I'm here at this place and this time that I'm not actually supposed to be in, I'm not going to fulfill my destiny here. That's something you need to understand. Go within, seek guidance, talk to your own spiritual guides, pray to God, whatever you do when it comes to your meditation and your spiritual practices. Like, if you want clarity of what is your role here, go seek the answers that you need, okay? Because, like, you know, we live in a world where information is everywhere, and you can't, like, escape from the atrocities of the world. You know, back in the day, we'll just say, like, back in the world wars, like, you maybe had those little news segments that you went to the theater to go watch once a week, right? Or you had the newspaper, but it took however many days, or it took weeks to make, right? Like, it wasn't at your fingertips, where you see all the atrocities, like, all the people dying, all the people that are dealing with injustices all at once. You're seeing how everybody views it. Like, for me as a woman, like, going on the internet, I can see just how much men hate women. Not even just hate us. It's like, oh, you wanted equality, which by equality, I mean you are trying to tell us men that your life holds equal value to us. Like, we're both needed. Men and women are both needed, right? They're equal value. You can't have one without the other, right? Like, we're both valuable, so nobody should have ownership of the other one. Nobody should, you know, be making decisions for the other one. Nobody should have, like, essentially decisions of the other person's autonomy. We should be sovereign. We should be independent, right? And then come together in harmony, right? When women say that they want to have some kind of say over their lives and their body, in the internet world run by incels and bots, you'll see as a woman, like, every man hates you, and it's just like, oh, we have this huge ring of leaders out there that's targeting women and kids. Oh, you want us to fight for you? Why would we do that? Because, like, y'all want to be equal. Go fight. Okay, well, we're fighting, but then you're also telling us that we're the biggest problem right now because we're fighting because you won't, right? Like, but then you also see, like, essentially, like, revenge grape. It's like they want bad things to happen to us because we just want our lives to be equal value. I just want to be able to decide if I live or die, right? Like, if I get pregnant and I have a complication, I want to be able to decide if I get to live or not, right? Like, for me, like, when I got my tubes tied, like, I had to have my husband at the time sign off on it. Like, that's ridiculous. Didn't require my signature, though, for him to get his shit snipped, though. It's like, so the internet, the fact that we have information at our fingertips, and I mention this because, like, it's easy to essentially have your energy sucked out of you that way. Think of energetic vampires and how they feed, because I saw this perspective, and I do agree with it. It's like, think about it. Like, when it comes to the big ring out there, and you know exactly what I'm talking about. The big ring out there, the people who are in power, the people who run those news outlets, the people who control all that, why would they allow this list to be out if they actually cared about having justice befall them? It's done purposely, and it's done to feed off of you and to make essentially your energy shattered, to shatter your energy, to put you in fear. All the violence, all the, you know, all the targeting certain sections of communities. It's all meant to inspire fear, and it's inspiring fear at a worldwide level. It's not just exclusive to the US. Like, think about like when the US said they wanted to invade Greenland, like, right? Like, not Americans, the US, right? It's like, it's at a world level, okay, where fear is being risen and fed off of. So like, if you need to disconnect from that, I have a prayer. I'll attach it to the community board, and I'll attach the link to this video so you have it. But it's to essentially remove any kind of energetic like strings, cords, or anything that you may have submitted to unconsciously, subconsciously, unwillingly, willingly, unconsensually, non-consensually, right? Like, and to remove all that so that way you're not being fed off of. Because like all of this is to inspire fear. Like, again, like I've also seen that if you like just utilize a VPN and exclude the US and the UK, you will see all the propaganda that's going on, that essentially the American people are being lied to. Like, if you use the VPN and pinpoint it outside the US and outside of the UK, you will see all the shit that's being hidden from the American people. So, like, the media is definitely a place for information, but it's also a place for misinformation. It's also like a pivotal tool if you wanted to inspire, invoke fear in a mass amount of people all at once. It would be how you do it. And when you're in that fear and victimization mentality, when you're in that fear and victimization energy, that's what makes you susceptible to be fed off of. So just something to think about. Again, getting into this, because again, it has to do with it. Sorry, not sorry. So what wounds are the collective healing from that's going to be transmuted into a blessing that's being instigated by there being tension and their personal identity being disconnected from their community? Like, you may not agree with what the people in your town, your family, your workplace agrees with, your country. Like, again, like I just mentioned what I've been seeing, you know, like apparently for you to be able to read the 2 million documents of those lists, you either got to be a liberal or be a purple-haired woman to believe that it exists. With all the information that's out there, with everything that's been coming out, like apparently for you to want to hold your government, like everyone, anybody and everybody that's even remotely associated with it, that was complicit, that hid it, right? Like, if you want justice for that, apparently that's just a liberal thing, even though it's like a good versus evil, like a humanity versus like demon type of thing. Apparently that's just like a liberal woman type of thing, and you got to be brainwashed, you know. But again, 2 million documents that'll lay it all out there for you. It'll lay it all out there for you. Let's get into this. Spirit, what kind of wound is being transmuted into a blessing when it comes to the collective being disconnected, when it comes to their personal identity and their community? So we have the plans and the action when it comes to partnerships, connections with other people, okay? The planning and the action when it comes to connections with other people. The longing and desperation for your friends and colleagues to have an attachment to them. So it's like feeling connected to people. It's like you're longing to feel connected to other people. Essentially, it's like you're having to get out of that mentality of wanting to be liked and suppressing yourself and watering yourself down so that way you're liked, that way you're accepted. Like, we're seeing that now, okay? Like, and I mentioned so many different things, I'm not gonna go back into it. It's like, but you're seeing that. Like, you agree with this, you're like, hey, it's not a left versus right, it's not liberal versus, you know, Republican or conservative, it's right versus wrong, it's good versus fucking evil, it's human fucking rights, right? Like, it's not political, it's human rights. Human rights aren't political, I don't care what you say. Not political. You want to feel attached to other people. You want to feel connected to your friends and colleagues. I mean, you see them every day, you work with them, you talk to them, right? Like, you want to feel connected. But Spirit's saying that, like, having these connections with these people who aren't in alignment with you, they don't have the same beliefs, they don't have the same morals as you, it's just going to put you in uncontrolled feelings. Again, it's going to shatter your energy. This is a wound. Stop wanting to be liked. Like, it's different to, like, wanting to be accepted. Everybody goes to that. They want to be accepted. They end up turning into a people pleaser. They suppress their own values because that means, like, it's the uncomfortability of, well, if I don't believe in that, then I'm not going to have any friends. They weren't your friends to begin with. I hate to be the one to tell you that. They weren't your friends to begin with. You're trying to suppress yourself. You're dimming the light of your soul to sit at tables where they don't even like you and they talk shit about you, right? Yeah. And once you finally get out of this, like, needing to be liked and accepted by people who you shouldn't be liked and accepted by, you'll have happiness and success and both love and wealth. So like having your heart chakra open to new connections and opportunities and people who are in alignment with you, okay? Not everybody's gonna like it and they're not supposed to. Your vibe attracts your tribe, right? Like if you're surrounded by low vibrational people, maybe it's time for you to move on. Get out of those self-limiting beliefs that you have to have this job and you have to live in this town and you have to do this, this, and this. The possibilities are out there endless. It's believing the lie of the matrix that makes you feel stuck, okay? Speaking from experience, okay? Illusions that made the collective overgive in relationships that are being reviewed. So this week you're gonna have illusions that made you feel like you had to overgive, like dissolve your boundaries. Spirit, what kind of illusions here are the collective reviewing when it comes to in the way that they overgave in relationships? So you're reviewing what prompted you to overgive to begin with. You're taking steps to release any kind of difficulty to get to the sunlight here. You're having the courage to face the unknown. Having the courage to face the unknown. To find a solution, to have a harmony, to have justice here. By listening to your intuition on what to manifest. When it comes to keeping things the same. Like it's like you're not wanting to keep things the same anymore. You want to try something different so you can take the steps to release any kind of constraints on your life, right? If I can hold the cards. And that right now you are manifesting with the universe. So have gratitude for any kind of conflict that's going on in your life right now. The conflict is made to make you feel uncomfortable. So that way you make changes, which is a theme this week. Because you have the Ascended Masters here that are helping you to heal your heart chakra. So that way you can have a new beginning by listening to your higher self and reaching a milestone here. Okay, so there's some kind of milestone that you're reaching. I also picked up that abundance is coming in. So like the struggle is coming in, the struggle is coming to an end, there's new things coming into your life, and we're gonna see what kind of abundance that is. Spirit, what kind of abundance is coming in for the collective? We have your ancestors are bringing you abundance that's going to provide you with peace of mind. It also could be signifying that you need to find inner peace, like you need to quiet your mind, okay? Meditate, you should be at least doing that an hour a day. To let go of the urgency, it'll come in divine right time. That you need to cleanse out your energy here. Take your ritual bath, spend your space, pray, right? Meditate. Because your energy may be fragmented. I just mentioned this. Like your energy may be fragmented. Once you cleanse, that prosperity is going to be coming into you. You just got to let go of the urgency. Like you can't, it's like there's a difference between manifesting it and then obsessing about it. Because like what you think about is like what comes in, but when you obsess about it, you're typically obsessing at the point of fear. And when you add fear to your manifestations, you attract in what you don't want. You attract things that would be in alignment with fear, which is typically low vibration, loss and lack, right? You're going to attract to the things that affirm to you what you fear. Like you're going to attract more obstacles. Now getting into the daily energy. So February 10th, Venus goes into the sign of Pisces, Mercury squares Lilith, Moon goes to the sign of Sagittarius. So Venus in Pisces. Pisces is exalted for Venus, and it will be in Pisces until March 5th of 2026. This is where you can feel very deeply romantic. There's also compassionate, dissolve boundaries, being overly giving. Again, another zodiac placement that would prompt escapism, like wanting to escape, you know, a time where people maybe, because like Pisces, you could be overly emotional, you can be all in your feelings. We did see uncontrolled feelings card come out, like, and typically when people are trying to regulate themselves and they don't have the means, or they don't have the, it's like the means, the tools, they don't have the understanding of how to heal at that moment, they typically turn to substances, right, to help to numb them, right? So it's like, during this time period, there's going to be an increase in the likelihood of that. It's also a time to utilize your strong intuitive insights as well as your empathetic communication style to assist with overcoming any obstacles to personal empowerment. Your intuition is guiding you towards expansion. Again, trying to get you some kind of level up. There's some kind of opportunity that is coming your way that you're going to be prepared to have, and your intuition is trying to guide you on the steps you need to take for that. February 11th, Sun sextiles Chiron. Again, this is the whole tension and disconnection between your personal identity and with your community that would provide many opportunities to instigating the changes needed to transmute a wound into a blessing. Like wanting to be accepted by the tribe, to feel safe and secure. You got to get out of that. And it's like, you see why it's necessary because, it's for survival. But in order for you to get out of 3D consciousness and into 5D consciousness, you got to get out of that fear, loss and lack and victimization mentality. You gotta start being authentically you, which means that when you are authentically you, you're going to essentially cut off, you're gonna be isolated from people who aren't in alignment with you. You're gonna have fallouts, you're gonna have, when you're authentically you, it's the quickest way to see who's real with you and who's not. And then you're gonna make room for people who are in alignment with you, who do mean you well, who have your best intentions and highest good, right? Versus trying to water yourself down, flatten yourself out to sit at tables that never liked you, never wanted you to be there to begin with. Like, why, right? Like, why do that to yourself? February 12th, Mercury conjunctions North Node. Moon goes in the sign of Capricorn, which Capricorn is the detriment sign of the moon. So there's going to be disharmonious energy when it comes to pursuing your ambitions, as well as your discipline may be weakened this day. Communicating with empathy, utilizing your intuitive insights will be harmonious with being further in alignment with your purpose. I also picked up that you could also be prompted to either volunteer for your community or to share some kind of oversupply with your community, because the more you have to share, and that's how you keep the abundance cycle going in your favor. Like, majority of the religions out there have some kind of rule where you have to give a little to get a little, okay? Like, I know in the Christian faith, it's like they have tithing, right? Like, you have to give a little bit of your money, and that's to keep the blessings coming, okay? Like, I am Irish, and I am Nordic, okay, by lineage. So, like, mine, it's like giving a plate of food, which is in the Bible, by the way, giving a plate of food. Giving a plate of food from all your meals to the forest, and in doing so, like, you always have food, you never starve, okay? It's just a sacrifice. You have to give something that's a sacrifice to you, like to your deity, to whoever you pray to, right? To your ancestors, your spiritual team, and that's how you keep it going in your favor. But you also got to give back, right? Because like that abundance comes back to you in different ways. Like, say if you're somebody who helps people when you are using your discernment and your intuition and being guided on who to help, who to be a blessing for, right? That blessing will be returned to you in a different way, okay? Like for me personally, it's like when I've helped people, I've always received help when I needed the help. And like I wasn't taken advantage of in that moment. Even if that person was not like an entirely a good person or wouldn't be the kind of person that would have the highest intention and good, like they never harmed me, okay? Or did anything crazy to me, right? That would be an example. February 13th, Saturn goes into the sign of Aries again. Remember, it came back out of the retrograde in Pisces, so it's now stationed in Aries until April 12th of 2028. Now, interesting thing about Saturn in Aries, okay? Typically, there's a violence, reform. Violence that sparks reform, okay? And when Saturn first went into Aries, we had Charlie Kirk. So, like, historically speaking, when Saturn went into Aries, we established the FBI, we've ratified the Second Amendment, many countries like the UK and Australia ban guns, okay? So that's something that's going to be pointed out. It's violence, like typically with historical themes, it's some kind of assassination that leads to stricter reforms. And historically, since like the 1700s, it's been all aimed at guns. So like, some kind of violence, and you know, in the U.S. we don't have like a shortage of shooting people. Like we love to do it, and we try to cherry pick and choose what like when it's acceptable and when it's not acceptable. You know, like I know it's pretty crazy right now that like the right wing is trying to decide that it's not okay now to carry your firearms whenever, you know, depending upon the state you live in and the laws that surrounding it. You know, like before they were all gung-ho about, you know, you being able to exercise your rights. Now it's like, well, if you protest, you can't. It's like, okay, well, what about Black Panther? What about trying to think of all the other ones. Like, they literally do it in protests all the time, where they will have these huge guns, like, strapped to them as, like, essentially, like, a promise that if things get out of hand, they will exercise their right. Saturninaries, that's the time when things like this happens. There's some kind of massacre. Like, we had JFK, we had MLK, that were all assassinated during Saturn and Aries, and it led to some kind of reform. So it's a time period for practical action, overcoming karmic lessons, as well as growth. Also, between February 13th through the 15th, this is historically a time period for pagan holidays such as Lupercalia, the festival for the goddess Juno, as well as Valentine's, that created the hallmark holiday in the US of Valentine's Day. So Lupercalia was an ancient Roman festival centered around purification, fertility, protection, and renewal. It was celebrating the wild forces that keeps life moving forth through the dark of winter. Then you have Juno, the goddess of childbirth and marriage. This was a festival to honor that, as well as to do like spontaneous marriages. Like, they put their names in a box, and the names they pick out, people get married. Then, of course, the famous one is the priest Valentine, who would marry young men so that way they didn't get drafted to war, because back in that time period, if you were a married man, you didn't get drafted, the young men did. And he was executed in a very barbaric way for that. Then at the end of the week, February 15th, Venus sextiles Saturn, Mars contraparallels Jupiter, Venus trines Uranus, Venus squares Lilith, and Moon in Aquarius. Your intuition is calling you to make bold changes here, okay? Especially when it comes to your goals and your unconventional approach to achieving them, okay? Old patterns of overgiving in relationships are coming in for review. Walk your unconventional path towards your goals with compassion. It will realign you with your security, restore your independence, and open doors meant for your growth at this time. Now again, the chakra that coincides with this week is the heart chakra, okay? Your heart chakra is, when it is open, it brings in your opportunities, your blessings, your abundances. It's your ability to love yourself, to love others, to be loved, okay? And to accept that. It also has an electromagnetic field that is 5,000 times more powerful than a brain. So when they say your bright heart light, okay, when your heart chakra is open, it's like the light of your soul comes through your heart chakra. Like, it emanates 5,000 times that of the brain, okay? So the huge, it's a powerful force here, okay? The yang function of this chakra pertains to relationships with others and what we are giving to the world. The yin function is relationships to self and what we are willing to receive from the world and feeling worthy. That's the kicker there. It's working with your sacral chakra, which is your self-worth, your pleasure, your creativity, your sensuality. It's utilizing that chakra to understand if you are worthy of love. So like, when you know that you are worthy of love, of your abundance, of prosperity, things like that, it will come in for you. It's, again, like doubt, fear, things like that stem from wounds, negative internal dialogue that essentially blocks you from manifesting. So just FYI with that. The heart chakra communicates physical and emotional needs through actual physical sensations like heart pains and pangs and emotional tugs. Receives messages from the higher self and guides us through dreams, sending and receiving healing energy. It is living through our heart's desire. If this chakra is at a misalignment malfunction, okay, one, you can listen to 432 hertz, which is the frequency for essentially to provide you with calm. It's a de-stressor. Now the heart chakra frequency is 636 or 639. It's something like that. It's in the 600s. 500s is your solar plexus. It's like 521. The heart chakra is like 639 or something like that. Okay, so check that out. It'll be labeled. I get some of the frequencies mixed up because I look at them all the time, and like, it's the last two digits that always mess me up. Like, always. It's like the last two. So like, if this chakra is out of misalignment function, it creates addiction such as sugar, wine, love, and the inability to let go of a finished relationship. Also, it can manifest in ways such as heart and circulatory disorders, asthma, bronchitis, pneumonia, sleep disorders. If it's blocked, it stems from jealousy, bitterness, anger, hatred, and ability to forgive others and oneself. And how you can put this chakra in alignment is, one, again, like listening to the frequencies, but two, it's eating a heart-healthy Mediterranean diet, going walking as you listen to music is highly beneficial for you. All right, my lovely, beautiful collective, I hope I was able to provide you with clarity of what to expect this week, as well as like maybe to answer some kind of questions that I've been picking up myself and that I've been wondering myself. So I hope you guys have a wonderful and glorious weekend and week. I will have a Valentine's Day reading for you guys for the week, so check that out as well if you're wanting a collective read on that. But again, if you're wanting personal answers to your personal situations, you're going to have to go the live stream way. I will not answer your email. I will not answer your comments giving you personal information. I just won't do that. I have limits, I have boundaries on how far I will give my gifts for free. Okay, so bye guys. I hope you guys have a wonderful night, weekend, and week. Please stay tuned for a brief little snippet of the Dark High Priest and the Project Nancy.